Hey there, Brittany. I'm got your little video going now to show you how to put in your extensions. So first of all, I laid them all out on my table, and I open up all the clips. So that way you're not fumbling with them. So you want to get them all open, all of your clips open and laid out. And I also, I don't know if you could see, but I glued and sewed, so they should be pretty strong. We're starting off with your hair. You would do it however you do your hair. So if you do a side part or a centered part, I just went with a center part to show you first. So I did, this is called the Catty Parting. And it's going behind the ears. So you're pretty much getting all the hair in the front of your head out of the way. And then the application method I'm going to show you first and mainly is how to put these extensions in for you to wear your hair down. And then I can show you some alternative methods too, but we'll start with that one. So in order to get all of the extensions in your head, because there are a lot of them, we're going to take about 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch sections here. And it is important to try to keep clean partings. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see about how big that is. And then we're going to go ahead and tease. And we're starting right here at the very bottom at your nape. And we're just going to tease very lightly. We don't want to cause any breakage and get crazy with it, but just enough to make a little cushion. So that way when we go to put the clips on, they'll just clasp right onto that teasing, and that'll prevent them from just sliding out easier. That way if you're out and someone hugs you, you don't have to worry about your hair sliding out of your head. So we're just doing a little cushion here at the base by the scalp. And then we're gonna go right in the center, so you've got a little bit of hair on each side. Let's see if you can see that. Let me turn you. So we're right in the middle, so we've got a little piece of hair on each side that you're not going to see any clip. And I'm holding this hair out from the head at like a 90-degree angle, and then I'm clasping it through the clip. So you can see from below, I'm pushing that clip through, clasping it onto that teased hair, and then I'm just snapping it closed. I'm going to take the other end of my rat tail comb and just kind of smooth out the edges. And then we're going to just keep working up your head. Taking about the same size sections. Picking up just that hair that the extensions aren't in, making a little base at the scalp. And now, so we started with one, and what I like to do back here is make sure you have just a small one, but now we're going in and we're going to do another one. So in the center of that section, clasp the clip onto the teased hair. Now you want to make sure, you want to get it kind of close to your scalp, but you don't want it so tight that it's pulling, because that extra tension of the pulling could cause you to get breakage or could cause you to get a headache also. So you want it, you don't want it like loose that's falling out down here, because that's going to make it slide, but you just don't want it so tight that it doesn't bend or that you can feel it hurting you, because that will end up being a problem. Now your next section. So I'm kind of, I'm working up now. My third section, I'm coming to about the top of the ears. So wherever that spacing puts you. So I don't need to pick up this whole thick section. I'm just going to pick up about half of it and just tease the part that I want the clips to clip onto. Again, it's about a 1/2 inch, 1/2 to 3/4. You don't want to go too thin with your section because that's a lot of weight on your hair and you don't want it to break. But if you go too thick, then you risk the clip not being able to close and attach to the hair properly too. So a 1/2 to 3/4 is pretty good. All right, so now we are going to do 2 side-by-side clips to fit in there because as working up the hair line here, it starts to get a little bit wider. So you notice I'm not going all the way against the edge, and that's just because if the wind blows, we don't want to see those clips peeking through. So it's just to ensure that you have a natural look. And we're going to go right up next to, make sure we're still in view here, right up next to that previous extension. And I'm still holding my hair out from the head to clip the clip onto the teased hair. Okay, so now that we got our 3 rows up and we are at the top of the ear, now we're going to come in, and I'm kind of going to split this. Take my front clips out, and I'm going to come about 3/4 of an inch above the ear, 3/4 to an inch. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Having that parting match up in the center, keeping clean partings will help keeping you from getting tangles. Okay, let's see if you can. Okay, so see how we're above the ear there. Just want to make sure you can see on the other side. Okay. My makeshift video. So same thing, you want to cut that section in half and you want to tease at the scalp lightly. Build just enough to build a little cushion to clasp that clip onto. And if you're going to wear them, I would give yourself extra time or maybe the weekend to mess with them before you have a limited amount of time to just throw them in and hope it works out. Just keep you from running out of time if you have like a practice round with them before you've actually got to go someplace wearing them. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now I've got the extensions with the 4 clips. All the rest of the time we've been using the ones with just 2 side-by-side clips on it, but this is a bigger section here. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to put this right in the middle of the head. So we're going to find the middle of the extension. And before I clip it, just kind of lay it out and see if it looks like it's going to come equally on each side of the head, which it is. So now I'm going to pull up that hair from the head and clip. And make sure too that this hair is pulled out of the way because you don't want to be clipping up on here, or that's going to make you have like a little hump sticking out. So stay on below that part when you're clipping. All right, slide. I'm going to just take the other end and smooth that out. Now you notice we're not coming right up against your hairline because if you try to tuck your hair behind your ears or run your fingers through your hair or the wind blows, you're not going to want to see this clip. So it's good to be about 1 inch off of the hairline. Okay, so now we're going to come up another 3/4 of an inch. And it just kind of depends on the size of your head. So if you need to do a 1/2 inch, you can. If you find that you get all the clips in and you run out up here, then you can always space them out a little bit further. If you find that they're coming too far up on your head, then you can just do them closer together. And I think it's best to, whenever I do this professionally with somebody, I like to have their own hair completely prepped first. So if you're going to be curling, it's good to curl your own hair and then curl the extensions. Or if you're going to be wearing your hair straight, it's good to flat iron your own hair and then flat iron the extensions. That's the nice thing about having these that you can clip in yourself. Then you're not going to have extra tension and pressure pulling on those. And it's really hard to try to go in between each extension and find like the little pieces to make it do what you want. But you could just practice and try it out, see what works best for you. And you might want to pick up a pack of these little I call them Duckbill Clips, because they look like a little duck. You could get some of those at Sally's, because those are nice to be able to part the hair too. I always think having good tools makes it easier to do good work. Okay, so we've got that slightly teased. And we're going to come in with our other. So this right here was your first pack. And had you just had one pack, we would have just spaced them out further to make it work. But since you've got two, you're going to have lots of volume, nice fat hair. So we're coming in now with your second pack. So we've got the 4 clips. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one with the 4 clips. And you'll know you're using the longer extensions when you get above the ear. So it's kind of like right in this little like halo area. Okay. So we're going to find the center, kind of space it out and see, and I got to move over a little to get us even. Okay. So now we're going to clip those in where they go. And again, you want to lift this hair up, then you know you're not clipping to the previous extension. It just will be easier for when it's time for you to take them out. Now, sometimes if I'm doing an updo and all of the hair is going to be concentrated on one side and I'm trying to squeeze a lot of hair in a small area, then I might clip extensions on top of each other, but I'm just kind of giving you some guidelines for when you're trying to style your hair yourself. So just taking another 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch section. I might just go down to 1/2 inches because I'm kind of running out of the room up top here. If you go too high, then you'll end up seeing the clip through the other hair, and you don't want that. Trying to be fast so you don't have like a really long video to watch. Okay, so now we're going back to our ones with 2 clips on them. Okay. Oh, just kidding. I can go up a little bit thicker because I'm on my last row. Go up a little bit further to the top since we're on our last row. our section. So just remembering the minimum amount of hair that I would attach to is 1/4 of an inch subsection. I wouldn't go any thinner than that, just so you know that there's enough hair to handle the weight of the extension. Okay, so we actually are going to, I've got 2 that just have 1 clip on them, and that is for at the very end, the last row when you get by the face. So we're going to come a little bit off of the hairline here, and you're going to clip the single extension, the single clip in there. And then you'll come in with your 2 clip. And then come over to the other side of your head. And you can play around and see what way works best. This is just a general idea for you. Coming over, and again, staying away from that front hairline. So that was our single one. Now we're coming in with our 2 clip. And then our last extension is the 2 clip, and that's going to go right here in the middle. Okay, and now that we have them all in, you want to tease the top, so that way you get some lift up here, and that will kind of help, you know, just in case the wind blows, you don't want it to separate your hair and then you see these clips. So I just go in and do a light little tease up here. And actually, it matches my mannequin's hair pretty well. So when I'm teasing, you want to take your sections about the size of your comb or a little smaller, and you want to really hold that hair. You want to over direct it from the section that you're in, so you're not straight out from the section, but you're more forward in front of the section. And you want to like start at the scalp. I don't know if you know how to tease or not, but some people have a problem with it. So, and once you start to build that cushion in there, then you come up from it a little bit. And it's always better to do a little more, because it will flatten out, but once you put just a little in and you try to go back and add more, then it's a little trickier. So you get a little teasing lesson too. And then I just use the other end of my comb to lightly smooth out the top layer. All that teasing is still in the underneath. I think you get the gist. My makeshift camera stand. Let me move it back so you can see all the way. Okay, so here's all the extensions. You can see, you can't see, So my video got cut off because my storage was low, but I went through and deleted some stuff, and now here we are again. So I just wanted to show you that now you can see for not getting these extensions to match this hair, they're doing pretty good. And then too, when you do your own hair, you'll want to flat iron. I didn't flat iron hers to start. If you're wearing them straight, you want to flat iron yours to start, but I had washed hers first, so that way we were clipping your extensions into clean hair. But I didn't want to take the time to flat iron her for the sake of just showing you how to put them in. But also too, another option is when someone gets extensions, we usually cut the extensions to blend in with their hair. But those are when they're placed in there more permanently, but with these clips you'd be taking them out. So the only way that would work out is if we were to, you know, label the clips so you know where they go on the head, which, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. If we have how many rows in the head, we would just go, you know, maybe color coordinate dark to lightest, a little spot on each one so you would know. But cross that bridge if you decide that's something you want to do. I think really, like, if you're going to wear your hair straight, you would just flat iron your hair, flat iron your extensions, and they'll blend in good. And then also, if you wanted to wear your hair curly or wavy, you would just curl or wave your hair, curl and wave your extensions separately, and then put them in, and then everything should blend in good if you're following the sectioning and the teasing techniques that I've showed you here. But yeah, so you can't see any clips around her face. Even like if you got your hair down and you just want to be able to do a low ponytail, by keeping them off of the hairline and neckline here, you would be able to do a low ponytail and not see your clips. And actually, you could even do, I could just show you real quick, like a quick little braid. Fast version. But keeping it loose, you wouldn't be able to see your clips either. So I know you were talking about doing a braid for, I think you mentioned a braid for your wedding. Look how nice and fat that braid is getting with all that hair. I don't know if you can see or not, but you can see how nice and fat the braid is. You can't see your clips. Okay. Now, if you were going to do, let's say you wear your hair on a side part, all you would do is instead of putting, this is why I did this last row here, instead of me just doing one really long one, I did separate ones. That way, in case your head spacing is different, you can space them however necessary to make it work. Or you could also, if you do a lower part on this side, you can just snap these two out on this side and move your part lower. And you could you could come up higher on this side because now you'll have more hair on this side, and you would snap them in over here. Quick version because my phone is like running out of battery and storage and everything. Okay, so if we clip those in and then you just tease this side, then you can come up higher on this side of your head with your extensions. And then over here you would just tease up a little bit. So that's how you would make that work for if you part your hair on a side. And then the other option I wanted to show you was if you do, let's say you're doing a ponytail or something that it's coming up higher on your head, you would just want to place the clips going in that direction. So like down here, it would be important if you were going to do a ponytail, you would want to make sure that you're still keeping that inch around your hairline so you don't see the clips. So you wouldn't do, when we first started, I had you put one at the very bottom. You'd actually skip that section and start higher because you wouldn't want to see them when you come up. And also, let me see if I can just grab these real quick. You would want to, instead of laying them flat, instead of laying the clips downward, you'd actually want to clip to the hair above and go upward. So you would do, they would all be going upward like this. So you would just kind of be doing opposite and upside down. Instead of being down here, you would be up here. And then same thing around the hairline. Instead of clipping them to go straight down, you would actually clip them to go back this way. Because then it would flow for your ponytail and have it smooth if you were trying to do like a tighter ponytail pulled back. You could also just take all the clips out, do your hair in your ponytail, and then you could just try to clip them around your ponytail. Have your ponytail secured, put the clips around the outside, and then you could just take an extra piece of hair and wrap it around to, you know, hide your what you've clipped in too. Sorry, I had to get quick on you on the end of this video to show you some different hairstyles, but if you have any questions, you can always call me and I'd be glad to walk you through anything. Alrighty. Oh, and then removal is really easy because you just kind of start at the top and you've got your rows all nice and neat. And you just unsnap and take them out, okay? As far as washing goes, I wouldn't wash them hardly at all. I would say, I mean, you will get several wears out of them before you have to wash them. And when you do wash them, I would focus on washing just the area down here, the mid to ends. I wouldn't focus on like scrubbing up by the clips or anything. And then also, you want to make sure that you're not like matting the hair when you're scrubbing like we do on our own head where we go like kind of crazy sometimes. You want to just be, if you do wash them, you would just want to be really gentle because they can tangle really easily. So yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know.